Hold on to your mug. We're in for a wild night.
Greeting, traveler.
Welcome, everybody, to part 3 of our Madness at the Darkmoon Faire Wild Set Review. I am here with Mike, Hydra, and Electric Sheep City, and we are now on starting up with a Priest class. So let's just get to it. First card up here. Oops. Of course, it would help if I was ready, right?
Should we just rate the whole class of 4 and move on?
Yeah, pretty much. So first card up is Insight. This is a 2-mana common spell. Draw a minion. Corrupt, reduce its cost by 2. At first glance, I was like, and then I started thinking about it. And I think that this card, I'm scoring it a 4. I think this is actually really good. I could see this being slotted into the Reno Raza Priest. I could see this potentially replacing Novice Engineer in the 2 slot. I don't know. Draw a minion. Reno Priest has got to the point. I hit Legend with Reno Priest this month, and I think that Reno Priest has now got so refined that the deck doesn't even run that many minions. That's what makes what is the card cost that's 0 mana that Raise Dead? That's what makes Raise Dead so good, right? Is because the minions that I'm running are so few. So maybe I cut Novice Engineer, maybe I cut what's it called? The 2/1 that rolls weed.
Me?
Loot Hoarder?
Loot Hoarder,
yeah.
Yes, that one. Thank you.
I thought you guys saw me on break, so I didn't know okay.
Oh, that's funny. But anyways, right? Because my minions that I'm running in this deck are so few. Hey, cool. This gets me another Kazakus, or this draws my Kazakus. This draws my Polkelt. This draws my Reno Jackson. My Raza. This is rad. I don't even care about the Corrupt. This is 2 mana draw a minion. It's not draw a card. It's draw a minion. Mm-hmm. You need your Reno Jackson. At some point, I don't even know. So, and the Corrupt is okay, reduce its cost. I don't see how this is bad. I don't see how this is bad at all. I give it a 4. I think this card is dope. Not that Priest needed more good stuff, but
right.
Yeah, this is easily a 4. I wish we had a tier in between 4 and 5 because I'd put this there, a handful of others. Like Nate had said, Raza Priest. He said it first, so I'll just write his coattail. I'll be taking out Novice Engineer, putting this in. I've already taken out. This is just for me. I've already taken out Blood Mage Thalnos, and I put in Emperor Thoris in. Sounds crazy, but I have a crazy win streak. I'll get a screenshot and I'll put it in Discord later. That tech right there has been working wonders for me. It's awesome. So I think this card, if I was to maybe tech out Thoris in to make sure I'm getting certain minions, that puts this card at a 4. And the fact that it can be reduced by 2 is crazy because the original base cost is 2. So corrupting this card is easy. It's easy as pushing play. Why do they keep giving Priest so many good cards? Bro?
Is the Corrupt artwork cool?
Oh, let's see.
Let's go check it out.
Yeah. So it's basically the little thing has been opened up, the little Ouija board has been opened up. And it's got a cool little eye on it.
Oh, that's cool.
Like a Cthulhu eye, and all the different things above are kind of illuminated. Nice. It looks really tight.
That does look cool. Hey, what is
oh wow. Yeah.
What is Imix? Imix said my post made it into a Hearthstone flavor text. What is that? Can someone? I can't do it. It'll mess up the stream.
Oh yeah. I actually saw this earlier. For whenever we get to Nazmani Bloodweaver, we will touch on that one. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Hydra, what do you think about this card?
Okay, so when I first looked at this card, because we were just doing Paladin, I thought I was still on Paladin, and I was like, This is crap.
That's funny.
Because I thought that this was gonna be it was a paladin card just because we were doing it. I'm like, it's even cost. Meh. Now that I've realized it's a priest card, and this does not have to be played on curve because I mean he'll pass. So like, I feel like it's just solid. It's a draw, reduce it by 2. Sometimes priest just does nothing on turns, right? So slots right into full on meta deck. So 4 for me.
Well, we were talking about last week how we are in our little like bonus show how we underestimated Raise Dead.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And now that the minion pool in Reno Priest is so tight, like, oh man, this I'm excited to craft this one or to. Oh, you'll open it. It's just a common. I mean, good grief.
Well, and the corrupted artwork is gonna look so sick in gold too. Let's be real. I have nothing, no more insight to provide. This is easily a 4-star card.
Insight.
Because that's the name of the card. Yeah.
But
Ridiculous Hat has trained my ears for puns.
Sorry, I'm totally chewing. Okay, the next one up is Fairground Fool. This is a 3 mana 4/3 with taunt. Corrupt, gain +4 health. I don't know. Maybe you played in standard. The corrupt effect seems great, although it's way too slow and wild. I don't think that it's good enough for Reno Priest. And I don't know what else you would play it in. I don't think it's good in combo priest. I mean, if you were able to play something that costs 4 or greater, this comes down as a 4/7, which is kind of cool. But like, it requires you to do nothing and then play a bigger card before you play this. So it feels like kind of slow to me, and I just don't see it being good in wild. I give it a 1.
I'm totally gonna give this a 1 also. My note said this is not good enough for wild. So it's just it's not quite there. So like you can't even there's way better cards to have like Divine Spirit Inner Fire sort of shenanigans. It's just meh. Mike, what do you think about this card here?
Yeah, I purposely stepped away because I knew my time would be short on this card. I give it a 2.
Whoa, that high.
Yeah, all right. It's a 1 because Raza Priest, no. Res Priest, no. It's a 1.
Yeah, I give it a 1, but the flavor text does have a pun. What did Illidan say when his Rocketeer broke down on the Darkmoon racetrack?
Illidan? He was not prepared for this.
You were not prepared. You were so close. You were so close.
Ow.
Wow. Okay. All right. That's
So yeah, it's a 1-star card for me too.
That's pretty funny. All right. Moving right along. Yo.
Could we have once a month we do like game shows where Sheep does like flavor text?
Oh, that would be so much fun.
I love it. All right, next up is Fortune Teller. This is a 5 mana 3/3 mech with taunt. Battle Cry, gain +1/+1 for each spell in your hand. This would be dope if it would cost less mana, like 3 mana or something. Because as priest, you're sitting on a bunch of spells all the time, and this would just be a giant thing. But on 5, like the number one, the mech tag means nothing in priest, right?
Right.
And yes, you're typically sitting on a bunch of spells, but for 5, it seems kind of slow. Let's see here. I was looking for my notes. I think it's an interesting effect. Overall, too slow for wild. I don't think that this is going to any existing deck and not creating any new ones. I give this one a 1.
So I know it's not my turn, but my notes are exactly interesting effect too slow. So you literally just said those exact things
I swear,
in that order. It's perfect. I had
agree.
to butt in.
It's a 1. I agree. Pass.
We're very
Right.
frequently on the same wavelength, I noticed.
We really are.
My note is not good enough. 1. That's all it says.
Yep. And the number I ascribed to my notes was also a 1.
Moving right along. Right. On 5, I want to be playing Raza, or it just doesn't slot into anything, unfortunately. All right.
So
unless you're playing Mech Priest,
I don't know what the
Right.
mech there is for. Like, that's not something you want to bring back because it's going to not have the battle cry if you bring it back, right? With the new N'Zoth. Like,
that's
seems
correct.
like no point.
Battle cries will not trigger. Okay, so let us talk about our friend Imik for a minute.
yeah. So Imik back in the day had the insight about how the different rogue cards and the different things like that. Whenever they nerfed the card art so that there wasn't blood anymore, he said that it's ketchup. It's not not a blood, but it's ketchup.
Oh,
So this one, his first stage, the flavor text is his first stage name, Ketchup Weaver, failed to excite the audience. It was a direct callback to our buddy Emick in particular.
That's awesome. That's so funny.
yeah, that is awesome.
That's pretty good. That's a.
They said,
Oh no! I mean that's a. You just unlocked an achievement there.
yeah, seriously.
Yeah, really.
I hope that one procced and wasn't bugged in your Hearthstone client.
Yo,
gosh.
Imik, they should give you like 30,000 experience points just for like having like your own little thing inside like flavor text. That's unique. Props.
That's awesome. All right, so this card is Nazmani Bloodweaver. It's a 3-mana 2/5. After you cast a spell, reduce the cost of a random card in your hand by 1. This, I think that maybe this goes in like a standard control pleased. Whatever deck it is that they're playing with Sethic Veilweaver, I think, because like you're playing spells and generating spells, and then it would be reducing spells. I think that it reduces reduces the cost of a random card in your hand by 1. So I mean, I don't know. I think this is interesting. There's some heavy RNG component to it. I think that it's mainly intended for standard. I give it a 2. I mean, I think there's potential for fringe play. Now, here's the thing. I've already seen like Clark Hellscream brewing up some bizarre like OTK with this. Like there's meme potential. And that's why I didn't give it as a 1, is because there's some bizarre OTK combo that you can pull off with this 100%. I'm not interested in trying it myself personally, but I will be very happy to watch the YouTube video of one of you guys pulling it off. So about you, Mike? What do you think?
Yeah, so for me, I'm going way higher. I'm actually putting this card at a 4.
All right.
5 for us. 5 for us is meta defining. We have yet to come across a card that changes anything. This card for me slots right into Raza. Here's where I'm coming from. After playing 2 weeks of no Blood Mage plus Emperor Thaurissan, by turn 6 minimum, I got 8 to 9 cards like discounted. So the thought of playing this card when I also see Insight, which is a spell, at a discounted rate, it excites me because a lot of the times I can get Kazakus Potion 1 time, 2 times, maybe 3 times, whether it's through, I used to run Brawn, so not Brawn anymore, but through Raised Dead. So getting so many potions for 1 mana, because that's a smart way to go, you discount those down to 0, and a lot of cards get down to 3, 2, 1 range. And when you have the combo, all you need is most of the time 24. So if you got 4 cards, 6, 12, 18, 24, you got the combo right there. I just feel like this ability right here helps me discount cards to get closer to finishing the game out.
It's sort of
I can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, it's sort of a mini Thaurissan, and actually, you're right. It looks like that just the idea that you could trigger this multiple times in 1 turn is actually better than I thought at first. I thought this was like a one-time effect. So you potentially could, like, if you're going off with your Machine Gun Anduin,
Mhm.
like playing little spells, like just reducing stuff. Like this is actually, I think I'll bump it up to a 3. Can I do that?
Yeah. It's your show.
True.
Thanks. Yeah, no. I didn't consider that, but I think you're right. Actually, the fact that this procs over and over and over is actually pretty good. I don't know.
And hey, I could be wrong. I just want to try it out.
No. I think that's really good insight. I think that you got something there.
So the first thing that I thought when I saw this card was the exact same thing Mike thought. Was, to me, it had Raza written all over it. So I didn't give it a 4, but I gave it a 3, and I wrote Raza ?
Okay.
So that was in my head. Like, I'm thinking of when I'm going off and I'm machine gunning, and it's like, oh man, it really sucks that that next spell costs a little bit too much. Oh wait, what if it costs a little bit less? Right? And then you keep doing that as you're machine gunning, and you are dropping the cost of whatever you have. If it's a 1 mana spell down to a 0 or a 2 to a 1, like everything is dropping, and it's making it so much easier to go off at the end. So I gave it a 3 because I see it as playable. Maybe it's not. Maybe it ends up not being run. I mean, like doing damage, the 4 damage to their face is better. I don't know if you can do the same thing at the same time. I'm not sure.
Well, I mean, the hard part is that you have to cast a spell in order to reduce the cost of the card in your hand.
Yeah.
So it's not like play a card; it's cast a
Yeah,
spell.
it's got to be a
And
spell.
So it is a little bit more limited.
So I think it's almost there. I'm going to say it is playable. I'm not going to say it's definitely going to be in all meta decks. It could be. So it's a solid 3 for myself.
Okay.
Yeah. So to me, I look at this and I see that this costs 3 mana. Yeah, it's a 2/5, so good health line. But you're gonna have to cast 3 spells with it to get a discount worth the initial investment of the 3 mana, right? So if I'm Machine Gun Priest, I want to save up my spells for machine guns. So I don't necessarily know that that I run this one when there is another 3 mana card coming up that achieves a very similar effect that I think I would run instead of this one in that slot. That said, I mean, discounting spells seems like a good thing, and you don't necessarily need to get full value from it. You can just play it and then discount like one thing. I'm gonna go 2 because I don't think it's unplayable by any stretch of the imagination. Like I think it's a powerful effect, but I don't necessarily think that it's going to be definitely not in the like tier 1 version of the Raza Priest. And I think that there's a card coming up that we will discuss very shortly that we'll take that kind of slot that we're looking in. So I'm gonna go with the 2.
All right, that works. I like it. All right, next up is Palm Reading. This is a 3 mana spell. Discover a spell. Reduce the cost of spells in your hand by 1. I think that this is pretty good. The discover a spell I could really care less about, but 3 mana discount all spells in your hand by 1 seems pretty good. Especially if like I'm up against aggro or something, like I need my Psychic Scream earlier, or I need my any spell earlier, my Kazakus Potion, or if I've got like Reno Priest is already running a handful of low-cost spells solely for the machine gun turn, and if this reduces them down to 0, like 1 or 0, there's like combo off potential with the Ben says Emperor and Renew in 1 card.
Yeah.
So yeah, this seems really good to me. And I almost don't even care what the discover the spell is. It's the reduction for 3 seems really good to me. So I give this one a 4. I think this is quite solid in a Reno Priest deck for sure. I like it.
Yeah, same here. I give it a 4. Like I already said a couple times. I had already been playing Emperor for the past couple weeks. So it's cool to see a card like this. Glad Ben pointed it out. I was just thinking it. It is like Emperor and Renew in one. Spell version. So I give it a 4. I'm excited to add to the deck that I've already been playing with Emperor, and I just yeah, 4. Easy money.
I also gave this a 4. Emperor Thorson opened up so many different combo possibilities for so many different like classes and decks and everything. And this is pre-specific, but like going forward, like who knows the possibilities of combos and everything that this could open up combined with Emperor Thorson, right? Plus, you get to discover spell on top of it. So I don't see any downside to this, other than I mean, you're not tempoing anything. But when is Priest really doing that? So solid 4-star card.
Yeah. To me, the fact that this doesn't have a body with it is actually makes Insight even better, right? Because Insight draws a minion. You're not drawing Emperor. You're drawing, your Raza. You're drawing your Zephrys. You're drawing your Kazakis. Like you're drawing those like huge impactful cards. And while the discount is nice and the cherry on top, like you just actively want the other more impactful cards. So I see the no body part of this actually to be an advantage. So for me, this is obviously the card that I was talking about that I want to run instead of Nismani Bloodweaver. Palm Reading is easily a 4-star card for me. And per the flavor text, actual palms not required.
This is funny. I mean, we'll see in the next few cards coming up that it looks like we're getting some big priest support. Not that we needed or wanted that, but
Yeah.
But like Ben from work is saying here that this card is actually insane in Big Priest, and I don't disagree because there's so few minions in that deck, and a lot of times, especially after Barnes got nerfed, your cards to like say discover a 5/5 or whatever, like all your spells cost what is like 6 and up, and so
Yeah.
just like the ability to reduce one or reduce all of them rather is quite good. So.
If I can Palm Reading on 3, Coin Shadow Essence on 4, Shadow Essence again on 5, and then
Resurrect,
Spellstone.
You know?
Yeah. Oh man, I did not realize even think about trees for this card, and oh my gosh, that's going to be oppressive.
Yeah, I mean it's especially considering all the aggro. Like this is actually pretty darn good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's move on. Then the next one up is Auspicious Spirits. This is a 4-mana rare spell. Summon a random 4-cost minion. Corrupt. Summon a 7-cost minion instead. I think that this sits way too long in your hand before it's good, and even then, it probably pulls a crappy 7-mana minion like Silas Darkmoon. Like this is I don't want a random 4-cost minion. Or a random 7-cost minion for that matter. I don't want to random anything, so I give this one a 1.
Yep, this one's a 1. Nothing else.
Yeah, same thing. I gave it a 1. I don't want this in any. You don't want to run this in any big priest or res priest. What are you gonna do? Get something bad and then res it later? No thanks. 1.
So I love the art. And you know what it means when we first start talking about the art. The flavor text also is on point. I'm not auspicious, but I'm a little suspicious. So 1-star card, but the flavor text, the art, like I love this card except for, what it does.
That's funny.
The corrupt version's pretty funny looking.
Oh yeah, I've not seen it. I should have. In hindsight, I should have pulled the corrupt versions of these to put them on the screen at the same time, but that's all right.
Yeah, I wish that I knew a way to get like the source material for the corrupt versions in that same kind of like high res format.
Yeah.
I'll have to look into that before. Well, corrupt notwithstanding, but the tokens and stuff like that for next go around.
Yeah. Oh well, it's all good. Okay, next one up is the Idol of Yasiraj. This is an 8 mana epic spell. Summon a 10/10 copy of a minion in your deck. Cool. Big Priest support. This is exactly like this is. My note says Big Priest support in 2020. Cost a lot. I wonder if they're trying to revive this archetype. With a reduction, I guess maybe it still feels too expensive to me. But a 10/10 copy is interesting. I gave it a 2 because I think that there's fringe potential. I feel like it's way too expensive for me. Like 8 mana is too much. 7 mana is still too much. But it has like powerhouse potential in a deck like Big Priest where you're running only a very few specific minions. I like the fact that it summons a copy. Like it doesn't pull the minion from your deck. It summons a copy of it, which is what we want. Like this summons a 10/10 obsidian statue. Like that's amazing.
That's incredible.
Right? Or a 10/10 scrapyard colossus. I don't know.
A 10/10 Barnes.
A 10/10 patches. Or 10/10 stone tusk boar.
Oh, I didn't think about the boar. That's spicy.
Boar priest. 10/10 Leroy Jenkins.
Here's the beast priest we were talking about the other day.
I give this one a 2. I don't think like this is. I don't know. How this really slots into a big priest deck. I think it might be too slow, but who knows? I mean, maybe it works. What do y'all think, Mike?
Yeah, this is going back and forth between a 1 and a 2. I mean, I can't see myself crafting this card. I can't see myself opening it and then putting it in my deck. Like if I get it off Renew or some other Discover effect and I'm playing Res Priest, or I'm in a position where I can in a position to abuse it, I would, but Res Priest is too good as it is right now. This card, nothing about it is exciting. It costs 8 mana, so I'll give it like a 2.
All right. I gave this a 1. Basically, I feel like with Big Priest, the most annoying thing was getting big minions on board right away, right? And this comes late. This seems to be something that you're playing if the game has gone long and they've got other things that they can do. They can res a whole bunch of stuff. So I don't know. This is just, it is a copy, which is nice. Not sure what you got left in your deck at this point. Right? So it just seems it's way too slow. I'd rather just get stuff out early. I give it a 1, like a hard 1. I think people will try it. Like that'll happen. There's people that love Big Priest and they may try to slot it in, but
like after the first month, like in month 2, month 3 of this expansion, I don't see this card main deck.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So hard 1. What do you think, Sheep?
I think that this is the standard version of Shadow Essence. Like this is a standard card, right?
Okay.
Like we already have Shadow Essence. We already have ways to cheat minions out of our deck, and it's cheaper. It costs 2 less. We can get it out 2 or more turns earlier with discounts and coins. Now, do we want to run 2 of these as well for redundancy? We're not running Barnes. Do we run Shadow Essence and Idol of Yasharaj? I don't think so. I'm debating between a 1 and a 2. And since we've already got 2 2s, I'm going to give it a 1 so that we have an even 1.5.
All right. The next one up is an epic minion. This is a 9 mana 8/8 elemental with taunt called the Blood of Gahoon. It does have taunt. At the end of your turn, summon a 5/5 copy of a minion in your deck. This is good off of Barnes. But like I don't know how this techs into like, do we play this in Big Priest?
Yes.
I think we do.
Yeah.
I struggle with this. It's a neat concept and more Big Priest support. But I think at 9 mana, I feel like the only way that it's good is if you're able to cheat it out for less than 9 mana. So the question is, how do we do that, right? If we have like a Shadow Essence or a Barnes or something that lets us play it early, then it's good. Otherwise, it's tough. My note here says, I guess we can try. I have it as a 2. It might be a 3. I don't know. Like, I mean, I feel like it definitely goes into Big Priest. And if this snowballs, like this gets pretty crazy. I'm just not quite sure how to make it work because it's so expensive. The problem is, I mean, Big Priest has kind of gone to the back burner. But with some of these support cards, I actually think that the palm reading makes Big Priest a lot better. So I don't know. Maybe this works. It's somewhere in between a 2 and a 3 for me. I think I'll give it a 2 because of where Big Priest is sitting in the tier right now. But I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts. Mike, what do you think about this?
Yeah, I'll give it a 2 as well. Like, I gotta hit not Shadow Visions. What's it called? Shadow Essence.
Essence.
Or Barnes on this, and then only in those games where this gets summoned early, can I play Eternal Servitude, right, to res them back. And it's just like, I don't feel like those games will happen often. If this is cheaper than 9, maybe a better score, but I'll put a 2 on it.
Yeah, how come we can't have this in Shaman and get this off of Muckmore for? That'd be rad.
So yeah, Priest is getting yeah.
Okay. I think it's a little better than a 2. I think I mean, I'm not a big Priest player per se, but this isn't a battle cry, right? Like, Yasharaj can also get this at the end of... So you could say Barnes, Yasharaj, or have this pulled, then it pulls another thing. Could be a 5/5 obsidian statue.
Yeah, but
I think it could spiral out of control.
I agree with you, although if Yasaraj pulls this, like, it's not going to then trigger until the next turn, right?
Do you run?
No,
you run this
at the
instead
end of your turn.
Yasharaj?
No, but it's within that phase, and once that completes, the phase is over.
Oh, that's a good point.
So it doesn't pull.
So
they
it
don't
wouldn't
both
be
pull.
till the next turn. That
It
is a
wouldn't
good
be
point.
until the next turn, yeah. So
I still think that it is playable.
yeah, I agree.
So I'm going to say it's going to be jammed into Big Priest. I'm not going to say it's going to be top tier, nothing like that, but I think it's a playable card, so I'm going to go with the 3 on this one.
I still think that's fair, but it's
Yo. I think you might be cutting Yasharaj from Big Priest for Blood of Gahun. Here's why.
Oh, interesting.
Here's why. Right now, Yasharaj pulls the cards out of your deck. This is just a copy. What you want to do is get minions, still have them in your deck so that you can continue to pull them out with Shadow Essence, stuff like that. So this keeps you from like pulling it out of your deck so that it's still there for value.
Ooh, I actually really like that. And the other thing I hadn't considered is that it's an epic, so you could put 2.
Yep. Yep. So you can put 2.
I just
You
threw up in my
actively
mouth a little bit.
Want to keep them in your deck. I think that this is going to make Big Priest like maybe not tier 1, but a straight up meta deck that we're going to be seeing all over the ladder.
I think it's definitely going to bring it back. People are going to be playing this.
Exactly because of that. I mean, meta defining. I think that this is going to help define the meta. This is a 5-star card for me.
Ooh.
Here we go. Hot take.
I don't think it's going to be a tier 1 deck. but
No,
it's going to like vastly change the meta. It's going to help define it. So this is a 5-star card for me for sure.
Wow. Hot takes. I like it. I
Oh,
do
yeah.
think, you know what? When I first looked at this, because I was looking at at Gahun the Blood God, I hadn't even considered, but like this is an epic. You can run 2, and like you said, this pulls copies. Like this is better than Yasiraj.
Yeah, for what Big Priest wants to do.
Agreed. No. You want to keep them in your deck and then get
Yeah.
copies and then res them. Like this is disgusting.
Absolutely.
You know what?
I scored too low.
You know what? I actually have this in my notes as a 4, but y'all hating on it so much brought me down to the 3. So I'm gonna pull my mulligan and I'm gonna go to a 4 because I already was at 4. I have it on spreadsheet as 4. So put me at 4.
You can bump mine up to a 3. Y'all have convinced me. I think that it may be even a 4 actually. Yeah.
Because it suited. What my note says is 4 absolutely solid Big Priest minion is what my note says.
Mm-hmm. Well, and as far as whether I think that Big Priest is going to be like a tier 1 deck, no. But right now, Big Priest is like not even on the meta report. I don't think.
No, but you remember when it was?
But it's going to be again.
When it was so oppressive, though, right?
Yeah.
Like if you're playing an aggro deck and you don't win by turn 5 or whatever, like you just don't.
Exactly. And that is going to be what's going to happen again.
Yeah. No. I think that this is. Yeah. Can you just bump mine up to a 4? And I'll tell you why. It's because when I think when we go back and look at these later, I'd like to be able to see if we were right or wrong. And if this doesn't make a higher score, then it's probably we're not going to fall on our list. I mean, we'll still look at it either way, but I think that's pretty solid. I hadn't considered that. I saw Big Priest potential, but I was looking at it as like a legendary, which is kind of funny.
Oh yeah. If this was a legendary, it would still be ranked high, but as an epic, chef's kiss.
Okay. All right, let's move on.
I may actually get my 1K portrait for Priest because of this card. Not gonna lie, I'm not a big Priest player, but like this is gonna make that deck so good.
I'll
probably try it.
I learned how to play Big Priest a long time ago from Concerned Mom, and it's super gross. Like when you play it the right way, like
it sounds bad, but my favorite part about it's like the type of deck you can like watch Netflix and play.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like you can totally be like, oh yeah, sorry, I'm just gonna res those again. Oh man, who killed Mr. Burns? like yeah, it's just
that's funny.
I mean, shot Mr. Burns. He didn't die. Okay.
All right.
By the way, spoilers. It was Maggie.
All right. Next up is we start getting into the legendary minions here. The first one up is the Nameless one. It's a 4-mana 4/4. The wording here is very confusing, but I have read it, I have interpreted, I've watched the video on it, and we know how it plays. So, Battlecry, choose a minion, become a 4/4 copy of it, then silence it. Now, this silences the original minion, not your minion. When you first read it, it sounds sort of like it would silence, like become a 4/4 and then silence your own dude. It doesn't. It silences their dude, or yours, I suppose, if you put this in like Silence Priest.
Purify Priest in current year,
right? No, but like, okay, I gave this easily a 4. I think that it could be higher, honestly, but I gave it a solid 4, and I think this pretty easily slots into your Reno Priest deck. Hey, you kill a Tyrion with no downside, kill a Rattlegore, steal a Death Rattle effect, taunt, poison, etc. Like, dude, you become their minion, and then you make theirs crappy. Like,
Yeah.
how is that bad? I see like literally zero downside to it.
I can't wait for the memes. Look at me. I'm the insert death rattle minion now.
You know where I get so I was kind of mad when I saw this card. I was like, no, why are you giving them more tools? Because like my favorite deck to play is Cube Lock, and like, cool, you're gonna copy my cube, and then silence mine, or you're gonna copy my Mal'Ganis and then silence mine, or my Void Lord, or insert death rattle minion here, my Sylvanas, my whatever, my I don't know, Ragnar's not a good example, but anyways, it's this seems pretty nutty to me. Will it warp the meta? Like, not necessarily, but I think this is another one of those very, very solid minions that slots into Reno Priest pretty easily. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, so like the card shows all over it. It's a 4. Fours everywhere.
That's a very good point, Mike. Solid for easy auto include into a Highlander deck. Any control priest. It's just 4 and a story. Cheap.
So this is definitely a powerful card, but I'm not sure what we would really want to cut for it in Razak's Priest as it is, right? Like, we're trying to more advance our own game plan. Yeah, we're like, trying to stop stuff, but the only thing we struggle with is aggro, and we have anti-aggro tools to kind of compensate for that. So there's not really a whole lot that I'd necessarily want to silence, but I can
Void
see
Lords?
it being Void Lords, I suppose, but I mean, you can have your Void Lord, and then I'll just go over it with my like machine gunning and my Spawn of N'Zoth, or Spawn of Shadows. Sorry, very different cards.
I really like this. So, I mean, I see that, but I really like this against some of the more difficult decks. If you are taking this up against like an aggro druid deck or an odd pally deck that you could turn their thing back into a 1/1 with no buffs. Or you are you playing against like a big shaman and they've put like death rattle, resummon, and you now silence that.
And because of that, I think this is a great tech card, right? But what I want to like main deck in my Raza Priest is like from this expansion even is Insight, so that I'm drawing a minion, and I want that minion to be something that's more advancing my game plan than it is kind of disrupting yours. Like that's what I kind of want to play instead of this. That said, the Nameless one is a really strong card. If it doesn't see play here, it's going to see play in the future. Like, it's a very strong card. Because of that, I'm going to give it a 3, because I mean it's an all-around strong card. If we're not seeing it now, we're going to see it later. I don't necessarily think that it has a home in Razak's Priest right now, but it might in the future, and it might as the meta shifts, to deal with the big priest that is coming out.
Right.
So it's very possible, and I feel pretty okay with the 3, because it's a very, very strong card. I just don't necessarily think that it's going to be in a meta deck right now.
Well, I think that's a good point. It is definitely a tech card. It's a what do you say? You play decks either proactively or reactively. And this is definitely a reactive card. Mm-hmm. And so if you're wanting a proactive gameplay, this is not necessarily what you want, but as far as defense goes, like, this could be pretty nutty. So, I don't know. We'll see.
The flavor text on this one's great. Used to be called, the Nameless, but everyone got confused because it doesn't have a name, so it's, no name, the Nameless.
Big brain.
All right, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Okay.
It's a big brain pun.
That was deep.
All right, one more here. We have Gahoon the Blood God. This is an 8-mana 8/8. Battlecry, draw 2 cards. They cost health instead of mana. The flavor on this one to me, I think, is super cool.
Chef's
Like
kiss.
from a lore perspective, from a and like how the lore interacts with the card. Like, hey, because it's the blood god, like you pay blood to play these minions instead of mana. Like that's super cool. But I don't think like. I don't know. I don't know why. I'm not sure why I want to play this. Like what Ben is saying, Geppetto. My note here says merits testing, but seems really slow. I'd rather run Geppetto Joybuzz though.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that it's cool. It looks like a big like sandworm, like a bloody sandworm. I don't really see myself playing it, but I'm sure that there might be some wombo combo potential here that I just don't know about. I put a 2.
Yeah, what do you think, Mike?
For me, I'm still what's the term? The jury's still out. Still not sure where I should rate this card. I just feel like I have an idea for it, but it just hasn't formulated yet. So like I want to put it at a 3, just for now, because I feel like there's something there. I'm just not sure yet.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not sure too. I feel that there's something there. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't.
Like Nate said before about looking back in a few weeks or a few months. Like this is one card where I want to be like, I knew there was something that I figured out before we get to the recap of the review. Like there's something here.
Well,
Go ahead, Adrian.
do you remember how good Blood Bloom was in Warlock? Right?
Yeah, that's
and,
Blood Bloom with an 8/8 body. Exactly.
Yeah.
and so and Blood Bloom wasn't good on its own, but enabling a Mechathune OTK, right?
Mhm.
And so that's what makes me feel like, oh yeah, maybe there's something here. I just don't know what it is. So, do we play Hemet and draw a couple cards and play them for health and do some kind of Mechathune OTK? I don't know. There's something. I just don't know what it is, and it's not going to be me that finds out what it is.
Yeah, as Gold Daniel said in chat, it definitely should have been a Warlock card.
Rip.
Ooh, that would be nice.
But yeah, 8 mana 8/8, cool. Has a really cool effect. I feel like there's going to be some combo potential. There has to be. They printed it, right? So somebody's going to figure something out. But I don't see this going into anything meta. It's not unplayable because I feel like there is this combo potential. So that's going to go under very, very, very fringe. So that's a 2 for me.
Yeah, and since I can't quite see the combo, I'm gonna go with 1 just because I don't really want to be playing this card. Like this might be a standard thing, or it might be something that they're going to print later. But as it currently stands, I don't like if even if I get this from like a random like Galakron something. I think I'm just gonna let it sit in my hand because I don't really want to play. I mean, I'd probably play it for the body, right? But like, I don't really want to play this card in any deck. Now, I would be more than happy to eat my words if and when a combo deck comes out. So that'll be great. And the whatchamacallit flavor text is amazing. All of the other old gods used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Gahoon join in any old god games.
Wow.
That was pretty good.
A very long flavor text.
We'll learn more about that next week on our lore episode.
I'm so excited to listen to that one.
All right, well, that does it for the priest class.
Yay!
So another one for the books here. Next up is Rogue. So Let's see. Let me just scoot this down a little bit. And first up, we have Foxy Fraud. This is a common minion. It's a 2-mana 3/2 battle cry. Your next combo card this turn costs 2 less. I had to think long and hard about this card. I think in standard this is very good.
Oh yeah.
I think in wild it is not so good, unfortunately. I really, really like it. When I saw it, oh my god. The downside is it costs 2 less this turn only. Now the problem is I'm sitting here looking through my wild rogue decks and looking at, okay, what combo cards do we currently use? In Kingsbane, or really any rogue deck, we use Eviscerate. In Kingsbane, I use Raiding Party, I use Tinker Sharp Sword Oil. And so does that potentially like enable those a little bit? Like this is a prep on a body, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't think that, I mean, I suppose potentially you could play it instead of a prep. This doesn't work at all in Odd Rogue. I think that is very good in Standard. I'm just not sure that it techs in to Kingsbane at all. It's a maybe. I'm not really sure. And again, Rogue is not my specialty at all, so I'm not quite sure. I think it's somewhere between a 2 and a 3 for me. I think that it's very playable. I just don't know where it's playable in. Do I pull out prep for this card? I for me, at least right now, I think that's a no, but it's a maybe. I have it as a 2, but I would be very happy if someone changed my mind on this one. I think there's definitely some potential here. So, well, what do you think, Mike?
Yeah, just like the mana cost, I'll put it at a 2. I would play this in a little like casual fun, trying to clear the quest thing. You know, play this on turn 2. Play Wand Thief. Find some crazy mage spell. I don't know. Like, I'll give this a 2.
It'd be like if it was odd cost, maybe it would be better.
Yeah.
Oh, if it was a 3, like the next will appear.
Yeah, something
Little
like
fox.
that. Like
3 mana
there's,
fox.
but I just struggle with, like, I had to take a look at all the combo cards, and I don't think that it doesn't synergize super well in wild, anyways. So like if I was rating this for standard, I'd probably give it a, like, I don't know, a 3 or a 4. Like, it seems awesome, but I just don't really see it in wild, which is a little sad
like-
for me.
Yeah,
Like you were
I don't see the full picture on this one, though. I cannot, in my mind, there's no way I can justify rating something that has a prep built in super, super low, right? Like, it's prep for combo, right? So you can play this and eviscerate in one turn, right? And you can get that full 4 damage. And like with Tinkers and everything, yeah, I don't know if it slots in, but it's a solid card for sure. Mm-hmm. So it's not, I'm not going to say it's playable in meta decks, which eliminates it being a 4, but it is a playable card, but I don't know where. So I'm going to go with a 3.
You've played a lot more Rogue than I think any of us, or at least me. I can't speak for everyone else, but I would trust your opinion on the Rogue cards.
Like, it's definitely not a bad card. It is a very good card. It's just, yeah, obviously doesn't sit in Odd Rogue. Yeah. And Kingsbane, maybe, I mean, you already have your game plan there. That's the problem. Mm-hmm. But it's not, like, it's a very good card. It is. It's going to go somewhere sometime. It's a very good card. I don't want to say it's in a meta deck, so it's playable. It's in a 3. Just don't know where yet.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure where it does go in wild. It's bonkers in standard, mm-hmm. right? But like in wild, prep is so much more versatile because not only does it discount the combo cards that you want to play that are also spells, like Tinkers, or Eviscerate, but also it discounts things like the Secret Passage, right? And if you're playing this and Tinks on the same turn, then you dilute the chance that your minion that's already on board is going to be able to hit face for the extra 3 damage. It's not really what you want to do with it. You want to make sure that damage can go face. It's hard though, because like essentially a free 3/2 that also activates the combo aspect is so strong. But what does it go in? Like there's not really just a tempo rogue.
Yeah, not at the moment anyways. I know, right? I think we all struggle.
I want to give it a 3.
It's a really good card. It just doesn't slot in very well at the moment. I think when we're looking at things down the line, this gets better. I unfortunately, like Gen and Baku pushed us into these like corners a little bit. Or their decks have become so refined, like Kingsbane, that like okay.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. It's
no.
fine,
I just had a hooked scimitar thought.
It could, it could be played
True.
in. I have something coming up, but yeah, in like Quest Rogue, like the other Quest Rogue, there's some stuff. Or
Hooked Scimitar might make a tempo like viable. That's a really good point, Hydra.
Yeah. I think because then the hooked scimitar is a 1 mana 4/2 attack weapon.
Yeah, because then on turn 3 you can play Foxy Hooked Scimitar. It being able to cheat out the combo mechanic so much earlier is what makes it powerful, right? Because then you don't need to have 1 extra mana, because you can play Foxy Fraud, Eviscerate on turn 2 if that's all you needed to kill your opponent, which obviously wouldn't be the case, but that's the general idea. So Hooked Scimitar, I think, is 1 payoff. Are there enough payoffs to make that viable? I don't know. So I don't think I can give it a 4, but I think Hooked Scimitar in particular as 1 payoff is enough for me to in good faith, give it a 3.
I think we dust this one off in a couple sets from now and see if we can, or what happens, I think, sometimes with a handful of these cards is we put them on the shelf, and then when a new set comes out, we dust this one off and say, hey, can we use this yet? No, not quite. Okay, let's put it back. Can we use it now? And at some point, we're going to say, oh, this is busted. It just may be a while.
Well, and I really do think that there are enough combo things that make it worth consideration. Hook Scimitar in particular is just one that's like, oh, I can have a 3/2 and a 4/2 like weapon immediately on turn 3. Like that for me is enough to be like, yeah, I want to try that deck. I don't think it's going to be like a meta deck, but it's almost there at this point.
Yeah. Well, think about this, right? Voidcaller came out in Cursive Naxxramas.
Yeah.
Right? And like nobody was saying it was busted until how many years later?
So many.
and now it's like busted, right? So it may be something similar. I don't know. I mean, I love the idea of it. It's going to look really cute and golden too, because it's like throwing dice or something.
Oh yeah, no, it's doing the cup.
Oh, it's doing the cup game. It's doing the cup game. I see. What's the flavor text?
His other street con involves a druid. He can't pull it off without a plant. Without a plant?
Oh boy!
Wow. All right. You win some, you lose some,
and that's a win.
All right. Next up is Sweet Tooth. This is a 2 mana 3/2 with Corrupt, gain +2 attack and stealth. Let's see here. It's cute. It's not good enough for the power level of Wild, and there's no deck that I want to slot this into. That's a 1 from me, dog.
One for me. Hot potato, Hydralisk.
Yeah, I gave this a 1-slow is what I wrote. So
Yep. Yeah, it's a 1 for me as well. This is for standard. The corrupted visual looks all sorts of awesome though, and it's cute. So, but
well,
yeah,
and plus the art is a loss for me because it should have been like a crazy clown ice cream truck. That's a Twisted Metal reference, in case you weren't.
Oh yeah. I also thought that it already had stealth, and the corrupt was only +2 attack. Yeah, this isn't even what you want to play in standard stealth rogue.
No, yeah, it's too slow.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Next one up is Swindle. This is a 2-mana common spell. It says draw a spell, combo, and a minion. So I had to think about this for a second. I was trying to think, where would we put this? Like, it seems like decent value. 2-mana draw a spell, combo, and a minion. Like, hey, this is actually really good with Foxy Fraud, right? So what is it? You could play this for free, right? Potentially, because the combo is free.
Yep.
Or do you still play this for 2? I think this is free, right?
This is free with Foxy Fraud, yeah.
Yeah. So, but then I'm thinking like, okay, well, where do I put this? Like, do I put this in Kingsbane? I don't really think so, because the other one says draw weapons and pirates, which target specifically. Like, could you put this in like Malygos Rogue? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that works. I'm not quite sure. I mean, there's potential here. I just don't know what it is, and like, I don't know. If you build around the right way, like I would trust. Get someone to build a solid Malygos Rogue, and you could drop this in and target your like if you have very limited minions in your deck. If this draws my Polkelt, or this draws my, or say I'm playing where I could really see this. We saw a very fringe play in the last couple months was a Mecha'thun Rogue, where you play Anka into Mecha'thun, but you have to draw those cards, right? And so if you're able to use this to like pull specifically the cards that you're looking for, I could see this being good in the right deck. I'm giving it a 2 because I think it'll see fringe play. Someone may very well prove me wrong, because draw a spell and a minion potentially is pretty good. I'm not quite sure what the build would be, but I don't really see it for myself. Again, so this is someone, please like make something awesome with it, and then I'll copy it.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a 2. I say it's fringe play, some kind of combo. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. 2.
Draw is always awesome. It's cheap draw. You're guaranteed 1. Sometimes you get the second one. I mean, I feel like you're always trying to pull something specific with this, though I don't know what it is. Maybe Sheep can enlighten me. Because I don't know. There's no way it's a bad card. It's gonna see play somewhere, so it's got to be fringe for now. So it's gonna go into the 2 pool for me.
Yeah, this is gonna be our like combo Foxy Frog deck. We're running combos. We're running it's basically tempo rogue, just a lot of combo stuff. This is draw, maybe draw 1, maybe draw 2. I think that you want to use your Foxy more for like the weapon that we were just talking about, but at the same time, if you don't have that and you can just drop Foxy and Swindle on 2, you don't feel bad about it, because then you actually burn through your deck. I think this is 2. It's going to be a fringe deck, but
I mean, 2 mana draw 2 is pretty. 2 mana 2/3 draw 2 is pretty awesome.
Yeah, 3/2, but yeah.
Or 3/2.
Yeah. I mean, that's gonna be good tempo. I think that deck might actually be viable, not like necessarily meta, but viable. I want to play around with it. So 2 for me.
Cool.
Oh, dude, you weren't joking. The corrupted artwork on Sweet Tooth looks awesome. Like,
Doesn't it though?
like really awesome.
It's got like Cthulhu eyeballs all over it too.
Let me just change the score retroactively. I'm just joking, but it looks cool. I love that they did that. That it's all new artwork. All right. Okay. Moving on. The next one up is Prize Plunderer. This is a 1-mana 2/1 pirate combo. Deal 1 damage to a minion for each other card you've played this turn. The downside that I see to this card is that it's damage to a minion, not damage to whatever. Mm-hmm. I think that it could have some like crazy potential if it was just 1 damage. So I mean, I feel like someone like Clark or Swagwar, someone will do something crazy with this, but because it doesn't go face, I think that takes whatever little amount of good that there was with this and reduces this down to a score of 1. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, this is a 1 for me. This is the kind of card where people are going to spend a week or 2 trying to make highlights and then get like a day of fame on Twitter, and then it's over. Like, this card damages a minion, it doesn't go face, so it's a 1.
Yeah, I feel the same. I mean, there's going to be what's the minion that you give to your opponent, and then when it takes damage, the hero. Yeah, like some sort of combo like that, right? But I don't think it's going to be a meta deck that you're
not
gonna...
enough to OTK, right? Probably not.
Yeah, so I don't see it happening.
No.
But so I gave it. Basically, my note says 1 does not hit face. So.
It seems accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm unfortunately 100% in agreement. It has such good possibilities if only it went face. It's a pirate, so like we could have run it in that deck that we were looking at earlier with the Foxy Fraud.
Mm-hmm.
Run our raiding parties. You know, we tutor out the prize plunder. We get spells. We get what doesn't go face. So
I mean, this guy does look pretty excited about his bear, though.
And that is a pretty freaking cute bear. So I understand. Soulbound Ash Tongue is the card we were looking for earlier. The combo card for Silas and stuff.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, cool. All right.
But yeah, it's a 1 for me as well.
Cool. Next up is Shadow Clone. This is a 2-mana rare secret. After a minion attacks your hero, summon a copy of it with stealth. This is interesting. It's an interesting concept. It's I don't know. It could be good. Rogues don't run a whole lot of secrets in Wild at the moment. It's not bad. I'm not really sure what it wants. It's so reliant on your opponent to like, okay, it just means now that when I play against Rogue, I have to hit with my worst minion first, which is not always what I want to do with Rogue, because if they're using evasion, right, then I want to attack with my strongest minion first so that the damage goes through, because that says that the first one, the damage goes through and then they're invulnerable the rest of the turn. And so like, okay, it makes me think twice, I suppose, but like, I just don't see a world where this is all that good. I could see getting really upset when I attack into them with my Void Daddy and now they've got one, although it has stealth, but like, you know what I mean?
So you can go right through it because it's either stealth or taunt.
right. But like, so this will be, like, minor level disruption, but like, I don't see how this is actually good. I think the random factor is too high. It just means that, opponent's now going to attack with the worst minion first. So I gave it a 1.
Yeah, same here. I give it a 1. Mirror Entity is bad. This card is bad. They can choose what to attack with because Rogue only has so many secrets, and then within that, not that many secrets are great. This just feels very much like a filler card, so it's a 1.
I give it a 1 also. When I'm playing Rogue, this is not the game plan that I have. I'm not playing Secrets personally in Wild, and I know most people aren't. So I don't see this slotting in some sort of meta deck right now, and maybe not ever, because, I mean, why would you? So straight up 1 for me.
What if you discover this from Shadow Dealer Hanar? Like, if your opponent has something cool on the board, and I discover this off of that legendary rogue minion, then maybe
I mean, it could happen, right? But
not
Yeah.
like I wouldn't intentionally put it in my deck, but it could
Right.
be good situationally, like from a discover.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
If-
definitely.
If this like read differently, then it could be very powerful. For example, if it said, after a minion attacks your hero, summon a copy of it, attack their hero, then give your copy stealth. Okay, cool. You hit me, I hit you. It's basically eye for an eye, and then I get stealth. Sure. But like this doesn't help my own game plan. Like this doesn't do face damage to my opponent. This doesn't like it gives me board presence, but I'm sacrificing putting board presence in my deck to play this instead. So I mean, yeah, this is a 1, but the flavor text is awesome. You thought you were attacking face, but it was me. You. Fun.
Yeah.
Fun. All right.
Yo, these flavor texts are funny. Yo.
All right.
Right though.
Next up is Ticketmaster. This is a 3 mana for 3 Death Rattle. Shuffle 3 tickets into your deck. When drawn, summon a 3/3 plush bear. The plush bear has to be like the best artwork in the whole set, by the way.
Oh, it's so good.
So let's see, where am I at here? My note says Miracle Rogue. Anyone? This could be a combo with Stowaway. I'm a little bummed that they don't shuffle into your opponent's deck instead, like Beneath the Grounds.
Yeah.
I think that it would be a lot better if the 3 tickets shuffled into your opponent's deck, and then when drawn, you got something.
Yeah.
That would be rad. Like I would score it like a 4 or maybe even a 5. Like I would put it in Odd Rogue immediately.
Right.
But because they shuffle into your deck, like, okay, there is definitely combo potential here with Stowaway, but how is this any different than that Feldori Strider? It's basically the same thing, right? So I don't know. Again, I'm hardly the rogue expert. Like, does this go into Odd Rogue? I don't really think so. Then again, I could be wrong. I give it a 2, but I'm interested to hear your guys' take on this.
Yeah, I give this one. I give it a 2. It's bad because it doesn't shuffle the tickets into your opponent's deck, therefore it's stopping their Reno deck. And then it's not a battle cry, so therefore you have to wait until this one dies to put the tickets into your deck, and then you gotta wait until you draw them, etc., etc. So it's a 2.
Yeah, I mean, for Odd Rogue, I'm always looking to play my Hench Clan Thug on turn 3, right? So I don't have a desire to draw this and play this instead. It's a Death Rattle, not a Battle Cry. It's not disrupting them. It just doesn't seem like something I want to run, and I don't know if you want this in a Death Rattle deck to be like resummoned by any means. To me, I don't think it's going in any decks. It's cool. It's not like it's a bad card, but I don't think it's playable. I'm giving it a 1.
Yeah. Also of note, the tickets themselves cost 3, which, is pretty expensive for a ticket. So if you get it from like Secret Passage, oh, hey, you have to play those because that just puts them into your hand. You're not drawing them.
Boo.
Yeah.
It's even worse.
It's even worse. This, like, I love
Can
the
I-
flavor
can I-
of this card,
I make it a 1. That's even worse.
but it's a 1 for me as well.
Yeah, that's a 1. Never mind.
I really want to love this card because I'm gonna craft it in gold. But it's a 1-star card though.
Oh boy.
Uh,
Sorry card.
All right. Next up is Cloak of Shadows. We're now into the epics. This is a 3 mana spell. Give your hero stealth for 1 turn. I think that this is potentially like, do you slot this into Mill Rogue or something? So you survive an extra turn. Maybe not. I don't know. I gave it a 2. I don't know really why else you would want to do this except in a pretty fringe deck. I don't know. It did make me hopeful that they're going to do a Mists of Pandaria set because they started to bring back some of the Panda Bears. But
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a 2 from me.
So this is a rare crossroad where I enjoy the card and I enjoy the art.
The art's dope.
This card,
yeah.
Yeah. This is
If Mike's talking about the art, then he's giving it a 1.
No, you didn't hear
I'm
how I
joking.
started it. No. I enjoy this card very much. I give this card a 4.
Okay.
Whoa.
I'm putting this in every kind of rogue deck I play. So as far as Odd Rogue, Kingsbane, hear me out, guys. I'm at 10-star multiplier. Well, I used to be. I'm at 9 right now, so I gotta fix that. But I'm always at that game where it's like I need 1 more damage to win, or I need 1 more turn. So they made this card for my MMR, and then also, Sheep, you remember this? There's a Cthulhu rogue deck we were messing around with back in Wild THL.
Yeah, that's fun.
I feel like this card and another card can help out a lot with that idea to make it more serious. I'm going for it.
I'm with you on the other one. The other card.
Okay. What if my counter argument to that is instead of spending 3 mana on like hiding for this turn, you could have spent the 3 mana on smorking him for the turn.
Yeah.
Right?
This slots
You know what I
into
mean?
a very
I
specific
know exactly
deck.
what you mean.
So I don't think it's for like a Kingsbane or an Odd Rogue or something like that. I think you are buying a turn because you have a combo coming.
Yeah.
Is how I see that, because you could just Sinister Strike him or something like that. Like you could do something to kill the guy if you needed to wait the turn. So I definitely feel like it's more of a combo card. You're like, I got to take this turn off. It's like it's kind of like a timeout.
Yeah.
It basically is.
Yeah. So I'm going to say it's a 2 because it's going to find a home in something like that potentially. Like, I don't think it's 100% unplayable because it will have stall and a purpose to do something somewhere, probably super fringe, but it'll find a home in one of these decks. So 2.
Yeah. I'm completely with you. That it has a home. Its home is not in a meta deck right now, right? So that immediately eliminates it from being 4 or above, because 5 is meta defining, 4 is played in meta decks, 3 is, so it's a determination on if it's sees fringe play or just like straight up playable. And I don't think that I'm going to just like drop this into just about anything. I think this is played in like the Galakron OTK one that gets all of the coins, and then you play a whole bunch of coins at once and to get the combo as many like cards as you've played this turn, deal that much damage. Not in this one, from an older one, an older set. Is it a pillager? Anyway, you're running that and the Loa together so that it hits base for a ton. So I think I gotta go for a 2 on this one, because 2 sees fringe play. That's not a like serious or competitive deck, but it is a fun deck. And I think that we will see it in there. So it gets a 2 for me.
So this is there's that quote from Shawshank Redemption, right? Get busy living or get busy dying. And I think that this essentially is a timeout, right? And so it almost, in my mind, it has the same function as timeout in a paladin deck where, okay, I've got an OTK coming up, and I need to buy a turn, then I'll run this. But normally for 3 mana, like I want to be advancing my game, not stalling a turn. And so it has a very specific function. And if I need a stall, cool. Like this does that. I definitely think that we'll see in a couple cards coming up, like there is Millrogue support in this deck or in this set. And so maybe this is where we use that. In fact, I saw one of the new achievements is like kill somebody with mill damage, nice. Which is kind of funny. But so I think that there's a specific function for this, but I feel like in a normal, like a lot of rogue decks tend to be very tempo oriented, and this is a net tempo loss.
So if this had the same text that Timeout did, then I would be probably ranking this 3. The big difference is that there are a number of cards, particularly in this expansion, like, the new Cthulhu or Yogg, where you can die even if you're stealthed.
That's
like
7 mana mage spell.
Right, yeah, random mage spell. Yogg, like in general. Yeah. So the fact that it's stealth and not just immune, I think is actually relatively important, particularly in this meta.
Flame Waker can still get you.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on. The next one up is Malevolent Strike. This is a 5 mana epic spell. Destroy a minion. This costs 1 less for each card in your deck that didn't start there. So this is clearly to be played in like an academic espionage type deck. I think that this could be a lot of fun. I doubt that this will be competitive, but maybe it'll definitely be fun. And I put How Bizarre as a really terrible pun for the bizarre quest. You could use this in Quest Rogue, the other Quest Rogue. I give it a 2. I think that in an academic espionage type deck where I'm shuffling a bunch of random crap into my stuff, into my deck, that okay, cool. Then I play Destroy a Minion for 0 mana. But outside of that deck, I don't think that I want to be really running this.
No, I give this a 1. I played too much like Cthulhu Galakrond Rogue to care about this being like. No, I like Slayer and stuff like that. I give this a 1. Like my style of rogue meme is Galakrond, Cthulhu Rogue. So this is a 1 to me.
I instinctively would want to give it a 1, but if Assassinate exists, and the bottom of our scale is a 1, this has to be a 2 because it's better. So it's a 2 for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I really like the academic espionage style of decks. They're not competitive. They're definitely not like climbable. That said, this is going to be a lot of fun in that deck because it like actually lets you get rid of stuff. So I'll give it a 2.
I've lost to that deck on ladder before, and it's very frustrating.
Yeah, because they don't kill you with cards that they even discovered most of the time.
Yeah, no, it's can be pretty frustrating. All right, let's see. Next up, we get into our legendary card. So this is the first one. It is a 2 mana 3/2 called Tenwu of the Red Smoke. Battlecry. Return a friendly minion to your hand. It costs 1 this turn. Like, this is rad, but it's only rad in the right deck, I think. So it's got to be a good Battlecry. Really what this card should have said is Battlecry, return a friendly Cold Light Oracle to your hand. It costs 1 this turn. Or could be what it's the Elven one that shuffles 2 copies into your deck. But I think that I gave it a 2. Like, dude, I love this card. I think that this card is awesome. I just think that, it only fits in like a certain deck, and it's like Battlecry stuff, and it's only reduced this turn. Like in Millrogue, this is great. Could you like this is essentially one of those pandas, except it gives you a reduction if you play it this turn. So the reward over this versus like Youthful Brewmaster or whatever is that you get it only costs 1 if you replay it this turn. Now, hypothetically, you don't have to, right? Like this returns the minion and I could play it next turn or a different turn. I suppose.
If you don't care
What
about
if there is no next turn?
Yeah. I mean, I suppose I could play this in like Quest Rogue as well, like the one that got nerfed twice. Not that anyone plays it anymore, but I think the deck is makeable at the minute. It's not nearly as good as it ever used to be, but it's not that hard to make that deck work. So I don't know. I give this a 2. I mean, I think it's fringe playable. I just don't see it being meta. What do y'all think?
All right, for me, it's tough because when I saw this card, this might be my favorite out of the whole set.
The card's dope. It is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we know about that red smoke, man. We love that stuff. So the ability, the ability is amazing. Looking at, I got an idea. Sheep, you gonna talk about Cthulhu a little bit? I'll leave some for you.
I'll let you do it. That is your pet deck.
So-
I didn't even think
Remember
about
that years
Cthulhu.
ago? Yeah.
Yeah, so like
this is the one that we were talking about.
Yeah,
that is the other deck.
This is the one. Aside from the stealth, in case you don't get Valera. So this card right here, I like a lot because you can play Cthulhu on 10, like regardless of what attack it's at. But prior to that, you play this, you hit it with the Shadow Step. So keep your second Shadow Step while this is at 0. You can hit that Cthulhu, play it down, play this at 0, get the Cthulhu back from 1. And then when you got that back in your hand, you can play this and get it back in your hand, and then play it again the following turn, or if you have coins. Nate, that's what I meant. I wasn't coming at you. I was in defense of you when I said, what if there is no next turn? Because you can just blast them away.
Yeah.
Like
I see what you mean. Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
Cthulhu's in a turn. Now I understand right now the idea of Cthulhu Galakrons is a meme, but like over time, like if they keep making cards like this, like I think it can get stronger. I'd like for one day it to be like tier 4 meta and start moving up. I know right now it's just a joke, but I play it a lot. I think it's fun. People are saying Quest Rogue. I never actually played the Quest, so that's more for you guys to talk about.
It's
So
doable. I don't think that
me,
it's ever going to be tier
3.
1, but yeah.
Put it at 3 for our ranking.
I like it.
Quest Rogue, I'm sure it helps it, and it'll make it slightly more playable, but I don't know. I think Quest Rogue's going to need a lot of help to be somewhat relevant in Wild, because you spend a lot of your time just playing solitaire, trying to complete your quest. And so for those first few turns, that's all you're doing. And if you're against aggro, they are just going to be smashing you in the face while you're bouncing things back to your hand and playing them again.
And all the cards that you're bouncing cost 1 or 2 anyway, so it's not really a big discount there.
Yeah. So it might help it, but very slightly possibly. And I don't think it's enough to bring it back. We could get more support in the future, but Quest Rogue is too slow for Wild. I wish that wasn't the case. It got nerfed a little too hard. I guess for Standard it needed to be nerfed, but I don't see it helping that. But with the meme potential, I'm down with throwing multiple Cthulhu's at people's face. That sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah.
There may be stuff in the future too that we can do. It's basically like a youthful brewmaster, but it costs 1. It's like a Grumble, but Grumble does it forever. I don't know. It's going to see some fringe play and some fun stuff. So it's not a 1. But it's also not a 3. So I have to give it a 2, even though it's super fun.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I forgot about the other trick I like to do. Getting lackeys down with Heist Baron. So we got the Wonders from 1. if you can set up Polkelt, you can draw certain cards for 0. So turning into Valera, you can sometimes get Cthulhu for 0, and then like sometimes if you get the right setup, like this deck is not actually a meme, but like I know just hearing the idea of it, it's like all these different cards. It's like what the heck is this guy talking about? But like I like this card and cards like it because it helps support the idea and it'll keep it going. So sorry, good. We can still draw for
Sheep.
0, just so you know. Drawing for 0 is great.
That's
Drawing
true.
for 0 is amazing.
What do you
And
think,
I look
Sheep?
forward to using Tinwu of the Red Smoke to do exactly what Mike is saying. Like, I love Cthulhu Rogue. I'm gonna do all of these things. Like, if I can get Cthulhu for free, then I can play Cthulhu, Tinwu, play Cthulhu, and then since I'm already Valero the Hollow, I can play Cthulhu again. So I've just played 3 Cthulhu's
Yeah.
in the same turn.
Your deck has betrayed you 3 times.
It's amazing.
The voice he puts on, that
Like,
voice is creepy, dude.
it's creepy. It's so good too.
I like it.
So
What do you give it?
the real answer is a 2, but what I'm putting down here and what I'm committing to is a 3
6.
because like it's going to be that fun that I'm going to play it so much that it's going to get a 3 for me. It's going to get a 3 for Mike. We're going to play it so much that we're going to make it almost meta, thus making it a 3
Tier 5.
instead. There you go.
There,
Let's
I put the Astrals Flames believe emoji in chat.
All right. This is the last rogue legendary here. It's a 6 mana 5/7 called Grand Empress Shekzara. Battle cry. Discover a card in your deck and draw all copies of it. Now this feels busted to me. I'm just not sure how. I don't know. As like a non-rogue player, like I'm not sure what the combo is here. Like, yeah, clearly, like, you know, do you run one of the... This feels like Mill Rogue support to me, but I feel like there's probably a better use for it. Like, do I put a whole bunch of Cold Light Oracles into my deck, and then this guy draws them all for me? Or Pogo Hopper. Pogo Hopper you could do. With Togwaggle's Scheme, right? You shuffle... I don't know. I gave it a 2 because I feel like there's some kind of fringe deck or some kind of meme potential, but I'm not quite sure how this is competitive. So I'm giving it a 2. I'm curious to see what you guys all say about it, though. Yeah.
So does this card get played with the Ticket Master, or what's it called? The Ticket something. The one that gets
Ticket Master.
the 3
You're right.
3s.
Yeah, I suppose you could summon your bear, you know, and summon your 3 bears, but
I feel like there's better things in Wild happening than summoning your bears.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so this is and rightfully so, exposing a weakness in my game where I've played 2 games of Mill Rogue, not sure really how to navigate it, not sure how to build it. So this very much smells of that type of build. So I lean on other players who understand it.
You don't want this in Mill Rogue.
No? Oh, okay. I don't
Well, you
know.
also because now you're emptying your deck.
And you will have filled your deck with Cold Light Oracles.
And then
So,
now
like,
you're just
your
going to draw them all
Togwaggle's
out and you're going to mill
Scheme
yourself.
Yeah. So you're automatically going to be like drawing more than your hand can fit with these Cold Light Oracles, which goes against what you're trying to do.
Yeah, so that you could end up fatiguing yourself by doing this.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like
I
you
just
said,
don't
you
understand the
were
card, yeah.
unaware of it, and the answer is you definitely don't want to play this in that archetype. Unfortunately.
Then is this going to be a High Keeper Raw combo? Like I'm not sure what this does. I'll give it a 2. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know where its home is either. I fully agree with and not putting it in Mill Rogue. I mean, that's the first thing you might think, but yeah, that was my thought is, yeah, you can shuffle Cold Light Oracles in, and you can be, ahead in fatigue because you have all these cards in your deck, but now you're just pulling them out, right?
Yeah.
So it's not really working towards your goal.
I've seen it pull. They shuffle in a bunch of N'Zoths sometimes.
I thought of that. I thought about the N'Zoth thing too, but you don't need to draw them all. You'll just draw one the next turn, right? Like one
no,
N'Zoth,
it doesn't. I agree with you.
one N'Zoth is going to fill your board, and you don't need to draw the other 8 that are in your deck because you'll just get it the next turn.
And you can only play one a turn anyway.
Yeah, so I don't see what this is doing. I don't think it's an N'Zoth thing. I don't think it's a mill thing. Some weird combo that I don't know of. So currently, I'm calling it unplayable as a 1.
Yeah, I would call this 1, but there are multiple people, at least one of them in chat right now, who are going to do this with Pogo Hopper. Especially since Pogo Hopper is now only 1 mana because it was buffed, and that buff stayed, so it is still only 1 mana. If Pogo Hopper was 2 mana, they would still try it because, of course, they would. I mean, it's Pogo Hopper. Things are adorable, but yeah, it's not going to be good. But people will play it, and since people will play it, even though it's not good, and seeing Fringe play, that's going to be a 2 for me.
All right. That is it for the rogue class. We're plugging in right along. We've still got Shaman, Warlock, and Warrior, and Neutral. So let's just jump into Shaman. Are you guys okay with that?
I'm good to go.
All right.
Same.
Let's do this then. The first Shaman card that we have up is called Resolve. This is a 1 mana common spell. Transform all minions into random ones with the same cost. I'm a big fan of this card. I think that this is actually really good disruption, though it's not nearly as good as Devolve or Devolving Missiles. Yeah, the joke is, right, first we had Evolve, then we had Devolve, now we have Revolve. So here's the interesting thing. This hits your minions as well. Mm-hmm. So this is not just a, it's a better Earth Shock. So I see this being I see this being disruptive, but I don't know that it's actually good. Like I'm a little bit confused on this one. I do think it's playable. The problem is that it hits your minions as well, and so like if I'm looking at like when do I use Devolve or Devolving Missiles, right? If they've got something like a Mal'Ganis that makes them immune, or some giant taunt, or something that is, causing it to where like is a big problem for me, then I will use the Devolve primarily so that I can like go face and kill them. But because this affects my cards as well, it has a downside to it. I do think that it's playable. It's just not as good. I'm going to give it a 3. I don't think it's OP. I think it's playable. Again, I don't think that it's better than Devolve or Devolving Missiles, though.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I think it's just 3. It's like a 3 minus, like a 2.5, but I'll give it a 3. Mike, what do you think?
I'm going to give this card a 3 as well. As much as I hate saying it or admitting it, it's to me pretty healthy for the game, because if not, cards like Devolving Missiles, Polymorph, and Hex would be the only way to slow down a deck like Mech Pally, decks that can recruit minions early, that are really high statted for the earlier turns, that are normally that are difficult to deal with. Now I understand this changes the minion to a different minion of the same cost, but this applies to when like the minions are buffed. So like aggro druid when you got a bunch of 1 mana minions, but now instead of them being 5/7s, they're gonna change into 1/2s, 1/1s. As much as I don't play Big Shaman, I think it's good and I respect it, and I see like Revolve going in Shaman lists just to keep people on their toes, because I feel comfortable queuing into any class except Shaman as Paladin. So I'm like, oh, here we go. Yeah. So I gave it 3.
Yeah, this card is really good or bad. Like it's confusing to me. Like, because sure, you like I love Devolve because I want to get rid of what is ever on the other side of the board. They got a taunt. I need to go through it, right? But when I play this, like, say I got my charge minions, or I guess you just play charge after, but you got something that wants to go face, you could totally whiff, right? You could get rid of their taunts, and then now suddenly, like, you got some like 1/5s or something like that. So I don't know, but you could totally wreck synergies, which I do like. I'm not the biggest, like, I don't know if this is like a control-y Shaman card or like where this is slotting in. It's definitely not, well, it's not an even Shaman card. Like, I'd rather play Evolve and Devolve. I'd rather play Devolve over this. I don't know. I am not the biggest Shaman player. To me, it seems a little janky. Like, you don't know what you're going to get.
You don't,
like,
but check this out, right? So if you've got a board full of, let's say you're playing like Evolve Shaman, right? Or anything, you've got totems, right? You can attack into your opponent's stuff. Like, say they've got, like, this is great if I'm playing against, like, Odd Paladin, or if I'm playing against, something Q block, or something with a bunch of Death Rattle stuff, or even if I'm playing against, like, Aggro Druid, where they've got a bunch of little tokens that are all buffed. This removes all of that. The other thing that's kind of cool is, maybe I'm playing against a Shaman or a Paladin with a bunch of 1/1s. Like, I can attack some of my stuff into their stuff and then do it. Like,
basically, you get a free heal with your stuff. Like, all your guys are now new minions, right? And they're at full health after you've done your damage to their side of the board.
Potentially. Although their stuff is going to change too, so you'd have to kill it and yours would have to survive for it to work.
Yeah, you'd have to basically do proper trading and then have your guys survive.
What you want to do is you want to kill a Void Lord. So, now you only have 3 1-drops instead of a 9-drop, as well as the Carnivorous Cube. And boom, now you have 3 random 1-drops and a random 5-drop instead of a Void Daddy and a cube that has something impactful in it.
Yeah, so I don't know how well I'm going to personally play this card, but I think people are going to play it better than me. I think it is a playable card. It's a little confusing to me, but I'll say it's a 3 for playability. Maybe sometimes you will smash him in the face, and then you'll revolve, and you'll get a whole other charge minion, and you can hit him again.
Yep. Yeah.
So, like, you could totally do the math on that one.
Oh yeah.
Like, you have a Reckless Rocketeer, now you got a Leroy.
Perfect. Two great tastes. It tastes great together.
Or whatever, whichever ones. I think those are separate manas. But you know what I mean. Like, you could turn something into something else, and maybe it'd work out good. We'll go with 3. Taking too long on this one.
Yeah. Revolve is great. Like, this is one of my favorite cards of the set, and like Evolve Shaman is really fun, but not super consistent right now. This just helps it get more consistent. Like, before, you only had Evolve and I guess Unstable Element. But then also the 0 mana one that you could do for, one time. This enables me to drop a Doppelgangster and then play Revolve. Boom. All of a sudden I have 3 5/5s. Or sorry, 3 5-drops, not 3 5/5s. Some are going to be better. Some are going to be worse. That's how it works. But the fact that I'm able to drop, a Desert Hare instead of having 3 1/1s, having 3 3-drops, as well as disrupting my opponent's board. Like, that's what it's going for. So you're trying to go like wide with a single minion and then change it to a minion that's better. That's what you want to do with Revolve. Of course, this deck also runs Evolve, probably Unstable Element, though maybe you cut that for Revolve because Revolve is just better in that. But it's both disruption as well as like pursuing your own agenda as well. So it's really two great things. Blue Train says that we cut Unstable Evo. Yeah, I agree. So because of that, Evolved Shaman is already a meta deck. It's not a high meta deck, but I think this just makes it more consistent. So I think because of that, I have to give it a 4. It's definitely not going to be breaking the meta or, defining the meta, but it makes a slightly fringe deck more mainstream and makes it more consistent. So I think Revolve is just an all around good card, and it has a very, very good like tools, as well as another few like tools later in this set that we will see before too long.
Well, and as a Q block player, like this card is terrifying.
Yeah,
this is gonna make me so angry.
It will.
So
Feel you on that.
all right, shut up, Blue Train. Nobody asked you.
You said good.
Yeah.
No, this card is dangerous because I feel you, Nate. I'm on your side because like Mech Paladin, like I love making those big mechs. And then, boom, dude.
Right? Yeah. No. It's good. It's really good. I honestly, no. I think this could be played in a number of Shaman decks too, just based on the disruption. Okay. Just like hear me out for 2 seconds, right? have played not a lot of Shaman, but when I do play Shaman, I play big Shaman. And it's primarily like a control deck. And if my opponent plays something, like I could even consider playing this in that. Not that, like, if I've got an empty board or a couple totems on board and my opponent drops something good, I don't think that you really played in that too. I'm just saying that it's versatile because, the disruption is so good. I agree. Devolving Missile is probably better, but I think it's a very, very...
Shaman was my first 1K hero portrait.
Oh, nice. It's a good card, though. All right. Here's the next up. It's called Cage Match Custodian. It's a 2-mana 2/2 elemental. Battlecry, draw a weapon. I feel like this card is pretty strong, actually. I like it in Even Shaman. You can draw your Jade Weapon, whatever it's called. You can draw your Lickum. You can draw your Splitting Axe. And I like it. I think that this is a solid 2-drop. We still keep the eel, whatever, Merkspark eel.
I think that stays too.
We still keep, but like drawing the Splitting Axe in Even Shaman seems pretty good. So I like this card. I gave it a 4. I think that this sees play in meta decks for sure.
Oh, you're muted, Mike.
Sorry about that. Same here for me. Give it a 4. Battlecry, draw a weapon, elemental, Shaman. This card just screams Shaman. It looks pretty cool. I like the art. Slides right into Even Shaman. If it was a 3, it'd be kind of messed up. But like I said way earlier, I like to think they're paying attention when they make cards for Wild. So this is pretty cool for Even Shaman. Get to draw the Splitting Axe and go crazy. 4.
Yeah, I think as soon as I saw it, it was an auto slot into Even Shaman. And like Nate said, I think you still keep the eels. You want that Splitting Axe. And even going forward with whatever build Even Shaman is doing, even if it's not totems down the line, like I know they used to do, like they did Jade Claws and stuff like that. Like whatever weapon you are running, you can just draw it, right? So it's a 2-mana 2/2, draw exactly what you want to draw. 4-star card.
We know that tutors are good, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Tutors are good.
What do you think, Sheep?
But...
I'm not. But in Even Shaman, right now we're only really running the Splitting Axe, right?
Right now, yeah.
Do I really want to cut something to just guarantee like one draw. Like Splitting Axe is powerful, but do I want to cut like anything to tutor that out and drop a 2/2? Not really. And then in Evolve Shaman, do I really want to only be playing a 2-mana 2/2 instead of something that's going wide that I can then evolve? Maybe, honestly, because the Knuckles is really that impactful. For me, like this is very playable because tutor draw is powerful. But I think it's only a 3-star card for me.
All
Like
right.
it's playable. It's playable, but it's not
Well, and
it's
again,
not super strong.
it's hard to say without playing any of these, right? This is all conceptual in our mind. So, in my mind, how much does Axe cost? 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, this is potentially, a setup turn. This is also, do I draw this on 2 and play it on curve so that I can Axe, on 4 or 5 or whatever? Like, it needs to be play tested. I think that's a fair assessment. All right, well,
Yeah,
let's move on.
I understand why y'all are excited about it, but
See,
I'm just like,
I just like it
powerful,
because you
but not like
you don't feel ever tempted to like keep your Splitting Axe or anything like that, right?
that's
Like
true.
you can totally toss that and not worry about it because you have this. You can play 2/2 and you can still get your Splitting Axe. So that's what I like about it.
Yeah.
Blue Train has a good point. So here's the deal, right? In even Shaman, there's sort of a vacancy in the 2-drop spot because Evil Totem is not that great, Crystallis is not that great, Mana Feeder is not that great. Like this is better than those.
So the even shaman that I've been running lately runs Evil Totem, but it doesn't run Crystallis. It might run Mana Feeder.
No, I mean it's usually
recall.
one of those in that slot, right?
Yeah. And
'Cause-
so at the very least, Evil Totem has like the totem synergy going for it, which, increases, all of the synergy for your other plan, including, the splitting axe. I think I'd rather run Evil Totem in my list, but that doesn't mean that it's correct.
Yeah, no, that works. I like the discussion on this one. I think that's a fair assessment. All right, let's move on to our next card. Here is Storm Strike. This is a 3-mana spell. Deal 3 damage to a minion. Give your hero +3 attack this turn. I feel like this is interesting. I am not quite sure. I mean, at the end of the day, it's 6 damage for 3 mana with no downside, right? There's no overload. This is just straight up 6 damage for 3. I could see myself playing it in Odd Shaman only because it's a burst deck, right? And if I can get 6 damage out of nowhere for 3, that's good. Never mind. I take that back. It's 3 damage to a minion.
Yeah, 3. So it's like a dual purpose sort of thing. Kill a minion and go face or whatever.
Yeah, no. If it was just 3 damage period, I read it wrong. If it's 3, it's 3 damage to a minion plus you get 3 attack. I'll give it a 2 and say it's fringe playable. I don't think that this goes in Odd Shaman anymore, or any other shaman for that matter. Unfortunately, I like the idea of it. I think if it could go face, it would be OP. I would like it a lot more. So I'll give it a 2.
Yeah, I gave this card a 2 as well. I don't like it in Odd Shaman. For what Odd Shaman already does, this just seems pointless. If it was like deal 3 damage and then give your hero 3 attack, I'd be all in, but I gave it a 2. Not liking
So
it.
from what we've heard or what I've heard, they're trying to make the new shaman thing in standard anyway, this new enhanced shaman sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like, if you've got a weapon that's got, like, Wind Fury going,
New legendary.
Yeah, like so this could be kind of cool, but it does seem currently like it's gonna be fringe. I think it's an excellent card. Like it's dual purpose. You can kill a minion that's in your way, and then you can go face with your weapon, which is really, really awesome. But right now in Wild, we're playing even and big shaman, and this doesn't really slot into that. So it's going to be fringe. Maybe it will be playable in a meta deck later on after the set. I don't know, but it's fringe, so it's a 2 for me, even though it's awesome.
Yeah, this is an awesome card. This is a standard card. Like the standard deck is the new legendary Inhara Storm Crash with this in order to that becomes 10 damage that you're doing a turn. Because Inhara, and we'll get there.
Yeah.
Two and Wind Fury from Inhara plus this. That's not gonna be good in Wild. This is a standard card. It's very exciting for standard. This is a 1-star card in Wild, unfortunately.
Right on.
Fair enough. All right, let's move on. Next up is Pitmaster. This is a 3-mana rare minion. It is a 1/2. Battlecry, summon a 3/2 duelist, corrupt, summon 2. So potentially, right off the bat, you're getting, 4/4 worth of damage or worth of stats for 3. The corrupt, I don't know. Again, I'm hardly a shaman player here. Would you want to use this in like an evolved shaman? Like maybe, but Desert Hare is better. So because it summons 2 copies for for 4, I think. Is it 3? 4? I don't know. I don't really play it. Or maybe run both. I don't know. I think that
of note, we don't know because it doesn't mention it on the site what mana the 2 duelists are. I imagine that they're technically 3, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah, if they're 1 mana or something, we're bummed.
Right.
If they're
Blue Chain says they are 3.
If they're 3, then this could go in an evolved shaman deck.
Yeah.
I think I would give it a solid 2. Okay, yeah, Blue Train says they're 3. Yeah, okay.
No, on the site, the Pitmaster, the corrupted version, is what's on the site, but not the tokens.
I don't know if it's going to be good enough or not. Again, I think this is one that requires testing. I'll say give it a 2 because even then, like Evolve Shaman is like a tier 3, tier 4 deck, and like it's fun. I mean, I know people can hit Legend with it, but you might need 11 stars to do it. Is that mean? Is that mean? I'm sorry, but
no, tell them how it is, man. I like that.
I think that it's fun. I think it's a little fringe for me. I think I'll say a 2. What do you think, Mike?
Yeah, I was thinking a 2 as well. 3 mana corrupt, summon 2. It's a 1/2. It'll summon 2 3/2s. Yeah, it's a 2.
A lot of 2s.
Yeah,
there.
I also have this as a 2. Odd cost card. I mean, it's a pile of stats if it's corrupt, but I mean, now we're playing off curve, not efficiently. It's a battle cry if people want to be playing some quest shaman. Maybe you can, get that quest going, but yeah, 2 for me.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that the duelists are 3 drops because typically they're the same mana as the thing that summons them. I do think that we probably do run this in Evolve Shaman, but even at that, it's probably, just like a tech. So I'm down with the 2. 2's all around.
Okay. Well, that's solid. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I think it's safe to assume that the tokens are probably 3 because it would be a 3 mana 3/2. So that makes sense. Hey, we just got a giant raid from Martian Boo. What's up? Thank you very much. That's super cool. So we're doing our wild set review. We've been recording now for 7 hours. We still have we're finishing up with Shaman, then we've got Warlock and Warrior, and then on to our neutrals. And then we'll be done. So, all right, let's move on here. Our next card up is the Whack-A-Null Hammer. This is a 3-mana 3/2 weapon. After your hero attacks, give a random friendly minion +1/+1. I just don't think that this is good enough for anything, to be honest. I give this a 1. Mike,
What'd you give this, Mike?
Dinner.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all
yeah,
good.
no, the card's so bad I started eating food. It's a 1.
Yeah, basically it's it's a nerfed fiery war axe with a bit of an upside. I've got no reason to run it. It's not even, so sorry. 1.
Yeah. But this is for that standard Inhara Stormcrash deck. This doesn't see a place in Wild. It is a 1 for Wild for sure.
All right. I like the hammer in chat. That's great. All right, next up is the dunk tank. This is a 4-mana spell. 4-mana, deal 4 damage, corrupt, then deal 2 damage to all enemy minions.
That's how you should write spells. Then enemy minion.
Yeah, this is interesting. I mean, this is a decent board clear if it's corrupted. I think it's like a slightly cheaper but worse Earthquake. Granted, Earthquake does everything, right? Not just this does enemies. But like, I don't know. Maybe this goes in a Reno deck. I don't know. I think that I don't think that I don't think I don't think that 2 damage is enough for a board clear here. So, I don't know. Do I give it a 1? Do I give it a 2? 4 mana deal 4. It feels a little bit slow to me, so I'm not sure. I mean, I'll give it a 2 because I think it may be fringe playable, but I'm not sure. It might be only worth a 1. Mike, what do you think?
Yeah, I like the deal 4 and go face, so I'll give it a 3. Yeah. It's not restricted to minions.
Yeah,
it can go face. Yeah, that's true.
So, hear me out here. We play Jade Lightning, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 4 mana,
sometimes.
deal 4 to the face. It's I don't even know if it's an even shaman right now, but it definitely was. And we were running it just to go face, and this goes face, and it can, if it's corrupt, kill a bunch of tokens or whatever. So I mean, if we were playing Jade Lightning and getting like a 1/1 out of it, a Jade Lightning that can do potentially 2 damage to their whole board has to be okay. I mean, like, I don't think it's horrible. Like, it's got to be slightly better than getting a 1/1, doing 2 damage to their side of the board. So I'm going to go with a 3 that it's playable, but not necessarily playable in a meta deck.
Yeah, I think this is kind of like we're talking about for last expansion. Control Shaman just got another tool. Like, this is one more tool that Control Shaman can have and put in its back pocket. This one is a very weak tool, though, because it does need to be corrupted in order to actually be impactful. So you have to play something that's 5 mana or above in order for it to actually do anything more than just single target removal, which is not inconsequential. But I don't think that this is actually something that even Shaman is even going to really add, or definitely not even Shaman, but even Control Shaman is going to really add to their repertoire.
Well, yeah, no, and that's the thing, right? So what in even Shaman, what would trigger this? The Stormbringer,
right,
or whatever that dragon is, right?
Exactly.
The giant,
you're definitely not running this in even Shaman.
The giant's not going to do it because the discounted doesn't cost. Like, it looks at the current
That's
cost.
a good point.
Again, and Stormbringer.
Again, and
that's
Stormbringer.
it.
So
definitely not even Shaman. Control Shaman is the one that I was thinking of, though, and even at that, I think that they want to have things that, yes, may cost more, but are, less conditional. You don't have to have them in your hand before you can get value, with the exception of Hagatha's Scheme, right? Because that scales way more than just being capped at 2. So
Blue Train saying the lurker below just is better, does this but better.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I think Dunk Tank is honestly a 1 for me. I just can't see it being played over any of the cards we've discussed tonight. So
Yeah.
that's
All
a 1
right.
for me.
It's actually a good point. Yeah.
All right, next up is Deathmatch Pavilion. This is an epic spell. Summon a 3/2 duelist. If your hero attacked this turn, summon another. I get what this is doing. I think that this is really intended for standard. It kind of synergizes with the other cards we've looked at, with the legendary minion and that spell that gives you attack. For wild, I just don't see that this is good. I feel like it's a bit conditional. Excuse me. Because it requires you to attack first. It's too conditional for me, so I give it a 1.
Yeah, same here for me. It's too conditional, and for what the format is, summoning 2/3/2s on turn 3 or 4. What does that accomplish? So I give it a 1.
Yeah, my note is exactly 2 mana 3/2 is too weak for wild. Only good if you can swing with the weapon, but it's way too conditional. So, I don't feel like I feel like I could be way more proactive than this. So, I gave it a 1.
Evolve Shaman runs a weapon. That weapon evolves things. That would
This
be
is
great if you could get 2 things on board before swinging rather than afterwards. This goes against what you actually want to do. This is a 1-star card for wild.
All right. Next up is Magic Fin. This is a 3 mana 3/4 Murloc. After a friendly Murloc dies, add a random legendary minion to your hand. My notes say that this is Murloc Pinata.
It is though.
So I give it a 1. I mean, I don't know. This is a meme card. It's cute.
Sorry, what did you say you gave it?
1.
A 1.
I don't know. I can't imagine running this in anything. I mean, I don't know. Do you play it in Quest Shaman, like Murloc Quest Shaman? Like, I don't know. You don't play that anyways. So
when you play Murlocs in Wild in Shaman, you don't play the quest, right?
Well, the
other
the
quest,
Murloc Quest Shaman, like the Murloc Quest, the old quest.
the old quest to play a bunch of Murlocs.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like way better to just play a bunch of Murlocs than to waste turn 1 on playing a quest.
Huh? Oh, yeah. I don't know. This isn't good anyways. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean that quest isn't good.
This is a 1 for me. Like, this is fun. This will be Slizzle's new favorite card.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I don't think that this is the random legendary pool is so huge now. Like, okay, cool. I'll get a Millhouse Mana Storm or a Lorewalker Cho from this Murloc that shouldn't be in my deck.
Yeah, our legendary pool is so huge and wild. So big.
Yeah, no, I don't think it. Anyway, Mike, what did you give this?
I'm giving it a 1 because as soon as I kill off 1, the first legendary I get will be Linissa Sunsorrow, so it's a 1.
Now, no, I mean, here's the meme potential, right? And this will go in a Trollden video or whatever. Like, if I've got a full board full of Murlocs, right? Say I've got the totem up that's pumping out little 1/1 Murlocs, and then I play the one that does 4 Murlocs, 4 1/1 Murlocs. And then I drop this guy and I run every single one of those Murlocs into a minion and they all die. Then my hand fills up with legendaries, right? It's still bad. It'll make a good highlight reel, but like it's still bad.
Yeah, then you'll fill your hand with a bunch of legendaries, and then when you go to draw your actual Murlocs with synergy, you'll just burn them all. So, I mean, at least it's a spider tank worth the stats, but yeah, no, it's definitely a 1.
All right, Sheep, what do you think?
I think that Slizzle is going to make this card awesome, and that is a testament to how good Slizzle is and not how good this card is. This is a 1-star card.
If only it were a rogue minion.
Oh yeah, that would still not be good because of the Murloc stuff. But, yeah.
Yeah, this is just bad. All right.
Yeah.
All right, when we get into the class legendary. So first up is Grand Totem Eyesore. As in like eyesore. Wow. This is a 3-mana 0/4 totem. At the end of your turn, give +1/+1 to all other totems in your hand, deck, and battlefield. You know, I would have really liked it if it were even cost, probably. At odd, maybe. I struggle with this a little bit because number one, I'm bad with this deck anyways, right? We had 3E come on the show. He's very good. Like, could you buff your totems? I guess. I struggle to figure out like why I would want to play this, and especially in like an odd deck, like Blue Train saying, odd is a burn deck. Now you can make totems and you can buff totems, and I can make a whole bunch of spell damage totems. And this buffs them, I guess, but like it doesn't synergize well. It just doesn't seem to very good to me. I gave it a 2, because I think A, it's fringe, and B, it's not that good. I'm sure that there's probably some potential with something, but I just really don't see it. Mike, what about you?
Yeah, I give it a 2 because it needs more support, and the only way it's good is if you copy it, and then each Grand Totem buffs each other. So that's about it.
Yeah, so I think that this is fringe in standard as like a totem shaman support sort of card because they don't have the odd or even.
Is totems a thing in standard?
That's why I said fringe. I know that Bodicus was playing it like a couple months ago.
Huh. Yeah, okay.
Well, but enough. Hence fringe. So if it's for me, it's fringe in standard. Then for me, it's a 1 in wild.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think before too long, we may eventually get to a point where it's actually worth running like totem shaman that's not necessarily even. Oh, we are not there yet. So is this 2 because it's fringe because it's, might eventually be a thing? No, unfortunately, I think this is 1 with the caveat that it will eventually be very good.
You know what? Esty in chat had a good point about maybe in a totem deck with the amalgams.
Yeah, that's fine.
The old amalgam, the new amalgam. The new amalgam actually seemed pretty good, but so this could be interesting potentially. I wish that it honestly, I wish that it was an epic instead of a legendary. I guess it's because it buffs your hand and your deck as well. In addition to just your board, and it's an end of turn effect as well. So I suppose there's potential for having it trigger more than once, assuming someone keeps it alive, assuming you played it in the first place.
Yeah, this card is one reason why there will eventually be a critical mass of totem and totem synergies that make it to where you can play a non-even totem deck in wild, but we're just not there yet.
It's very slow, right?
Yeah.
People play, so Infernal Wisdom in chat, people play Edwin for 3 mana, Aggro Druid dumps their entire hand for 3 mana. This card, on the other hand.
It's Devil's Advocate.
It's pretty accurate, but...
Devil's Advocate Keleseth. But we also don't play Keleseth anymore either. So
Keleseth is a battle cry, though. Like, if I were to, Keleseth,
but if it sticks around, then it could get multiple procs. But also, we don't play Keleseth anymore either.
It's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. Labori Sangre hit legend with it a couple months ago, like a Keleseth tempo rogue.
That is more a testament to labor than it is to Keleseth.
That's true. That's true. Okay, here we go. This is the last Shaman legendary. This is Inara Storm Crash. It's a 5 mana 4/5. On your turn, your hero has +2 attack and Wind Fury. This card is super cool. I have no clue where to put it. Here's what I really like about it. Is that the two attack and Wind Fury is like static, right? Like it does not require a weapon, does not have a durability on it. Like this is just as long as this card lives. So right off the bat, you get 4 or 5 worth of stats plus an additional 4 attack. That being said, no clue where to put it. You know, Gonk Shaman. Yeah, pretty much. And so I don't know where it goes. I gave it a 3 because I think it's a cool card, but like I really don't know where it goes. Like I don't think it fits in Odd Shaman. I don't think that it fits in any Shaman at the moment. And I really don't know, but I like it. I wish that it cost 4 or 6 even. But it goes on ice for the next expansion. That's pretty much accurate, I think. But that's my take on it. I mean, I'm giving it 3 because I think the power level is good. I just don't know. Like, it's definitely playable. I just don't know where it goes. Mike, what are your thoughts on this? I'm sorry. I always get you when you're about to take a sip or take a bite. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. No, I'm gonna mix it in, so it's all good. Like you said, I don't know. I'm not sure where this goes. This is just another Hearthstone orphan. Got a card with no home. Not sure what to do with it. I don't know what's going on with it. I have no idea like what they're even intending with this thing. Like I really have no clue. This one got me lost, so I give it a 2 because I really have no clue.
The Hearthstone orphan.
That is. I think we need to make that like a coined turn of phrase. Like that is perfect for what this card is.
It can go hang out with Murabi.
Yeah,
exactly.
I ended up giving this one a 2 also. I don't know where it slots in.
The power level, like such a cool card.
It is. And unfortunately, it was, I believe, confirmed that it does not work with Doomhammer, giving it Mega Wind Fury, because that would have been funny.
That would have been rad.
But it'll give it the +2 attack, but it ain't gonna keep attacking. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like this is a standard card.
Yeah,
and that's where it ends for me. So I'm just gonna do 2 until there's something later on going on. So 2.
So Shaman is the class for Hearthstone Orphans, and this is another one of those. Like,
what's up, Zelda?
Inara Stormcrash is like the build around card that Shaman is supposed to try and make work. Like it's the like archetype that they're like, okay, here's your one for this expansion. And the next expansion will get another archetype for Shaman. And the next expansion will get another archetype for Shaman. This doesn't have a whole lot of support. And we likely won't see additional support in future sets because that's what has happened for Shaman for a while. That said, really cool effect. It's definitely not unplayable. You can just drop this into pretty much anything, and except for even Shaman for obvious reasons. And it won't be a dead draw. Like it'll be a high priority target. But you definitely don't want to build your deck around it in Wild. This is a 2 for me as well.
What do you think about, and I guess I'm framing this question mostly to Blue Train, but you guys as well. Like, could you see this being played in aggro Shaman at the top end? Like if you're dropping the Trog on 1 and a bunch of spells, you know, does this, I suppose this only hits for 5, which is not what you want.
Yeah.
Hey, I guess at my MMR you could, because I've seen a Res Priest play Leroy. So let's go, dude.
Why did I do it?
No, I've seen that too. I lost to it one time. I took a screenshot where they res like 4 Leroys and hit me for
I'm dead serious. Yeah,
it was like, wait, what? Maybe if Rockbiter was unnerved, yeah. If with Rockbiter, this could be pretty cool. I mean, I agree with you. This is a poor Hearthstone orphan. And
if it like this archetype continues to get support, then like maybe, but you're not going to build a whole archetype around that in Wild at least.
so, I mean, the problem is they keep talking about class identity, and the problem is that Shaman is very confused, like about what its identity is, and that's unfortunate. You know, and typically,
Holy crap!
like,
I got Golden Kappa. Yo, look at the chat.
What up?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
it looks like normal Kappa to me,
whoa.
but oh
And-
wait, there we go.
Oh yeah, there. it is.
Unk's got the gold one.
Mine looks non-golden. It doesn't. I
Hey,
don't.
Zeroshos is golden.
Yeah,
No, mine's
Zoroshio's
golden.
is golden. I see it.
I don't even-
Zoroshio got golden kappa.
What does that mean? What does that?
I don't
mean?
know. It's
It's just an RNG game.
Oh, is that good? Is that good?
It's a good thing.
Yeah.
Cool. Congratulations, then.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's cool. It's
no,
cool.
no, it's all good. But hey,
Such
Mike,
blessings.
you've gotten the Leroy in Big Priest, but what about the Dirty Rat in Big Priest? Because that one's funny.
Oh,
When they
yeah,
Dirty
I've
Rat
seen that.
you, but then they just keep rezzing Dirty Rats over and over again instead of something useful.
Wow. All right, let's
I've
finish.
seen
We're
that.
done. We're done with Shaman. Let's move on to my my favorite class, the Warlock. Okay, we've been at this for 2 hours 20 minutes, so I think let's call the end of this episode real quick. We can keep recording if you guys want, but I want to chop it and start a new one.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to end the recording real quick, and then we'll just jump right back on. So we will see you guys next episode.